In 2025, America witnessed the biggest chains we count on for decades vanishing one by one. Pizza Hut, once packed with families on weekend night, is now shuttering hundreds of locations. Subway, the symbol of healthy fast food for a generation, has quietly closed more than 500 stores in a single year, and Red Lobster is now drowning in more than $1 billion of debt. For millions of Americans, these places were where you could stretch a paycheck and still bring your family out to eat. But now, inflation has driven prices up, quality down, and locations out of reach. When even fast food becomes a luxury, what real choices are left for the average American people? This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. And in this video, we'll expose the 15 restaurant chains that might vanish in 2025. Let's begin with the oldest one. Number 1. Pizza Hut. In just 15 years, America has lost over 1,300 Pizza Hut restaurants. Many now wonder if it is the slow erasure of a chain that once defined what dinner out meant for millions of families. During the 1980s and 1990s, a red-roofed Pizza Hut in your neighborhood held many sweet memories. It was where birthdays were celebrated, teams gathered, and parents could treat their kids without checking the bank account twice. At its peak in 2010, Pizza Hut operated more than 7,800 locations across the United States. Back then, it was the biggest pizza brand in the country, more accessible, more beloved, and more dependable than any competitor. But by 2024, that presence has thinned dramatically. Pizza Hut has now closed over 500 stores since 2020 alone. Analysts warn that up to 500 more locations may shut their doors in 2025. The shift from bustling to barely breathing has left scars on both the brand and its customers. This collapse is the result of years of lagging behind changing habits. Domino's dominated the digital ordering race. Little Caesars leaned into affordability. Meanwhile, Pizza Hut clung to outdated dine-in models and rolled out confusing menu changes like Detroit-style pizzas that didn't resonate, and while others embraced fast, cheap, and easy, Pizza Hut's prices ballooned. Some locations charge 30% more than competitors for a single medium pie, for families watching every dollar. That made all the difference. The consequences ripple through real lives. In places where Pizza Hut was often the only sit-down restaurant, older residents now face long drives just to enjoy a basic meal out. Retired couples, who once treated Pizza Hut as their weekend's night tradition, quietly lose a place they trusted. People who relied on part-time shifts to afford life expenses now find those job opportunities gone. And for blue-collar workers on the road, one more affordable meal option has disappeared, leaving them with fewer places to rest and recharge. What vanishes here isn't just a business, but also a piece of routine, a space where the everyday American could still afford to feel cared for. If this trend continues, the red roof might vanish from memory altogether. And if Pizza Hut, the giant of our childhood, can fall, then what other familiar names might quietly disappear next? Number 2. IHOP. Over 100 IHOP locations have disappeared since 2020, and if current trends continue, hundreds more could vanish before 2026. A Sunday morning tradition for generations may soon become just a memory. For decades, IHOP stood as a cornerstone of American family breakfast. At its peak, over 1.6 million customers visited every week. For millions of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, the International House of Pancakes offered something rare: hot meals, friendly service, and affordable prices under one roof. But today, the griddle is cooling fast. From 2022 to 2024, same-store customer traffic declined by 3.6%, even after aggressive promotions, according to Dine Brand's internal reports. Dozens of franchisees have chosen not to renew contracts. In 2024 alone, nearly 100 IHOPs shut down permanently, and 2025 may bring more closures if trends persist. The emotional damage is clear. IHOP's attempt to modernize by rebranding itself as IHOP International House of Burgers in 2018 sparked widespread outrage. Loyal customers felt betrayed, and while Waffle House stayed consistent, IHOP's identity seemed to crumble under pressure. Meanwhile, competitors have surged ahead. McDonald's offers cheaper breakfast combos with lightning-fast service. Starbucks draws in younger crowds with grab-and-go convenience. IHOP's traditional dine-in model, once its strength, has now become a liability. Rising egg, milk, and flour costs have also pushed prices up, frustrating working-class customers who feel squeezed from all sides. What's harder to calculate is the loss of what IHOP represented for truckers on cross-country hauls. It was a safe place to refuel for elderly couples. It was a place to feel seen for overnight shift workers. It was a beacon in the dark. Without it, there are fewer places left where America's overlooked can simply sit, eat, and breathe. And keep watching to see what other symbols of affordability might quietly vanish next. Number 3. Subway. There was a time you could walk into any strip mall in America and find a glowing green Subway sign. Now, that glow is dimming fast. In just the past year, over 400 US Subway stores have gone dark, and if nothing changes, 2025 may be the year this sandwich giant disappears from the towns it once fed. In 2012, Subway stood at the summit, with more than 27,000 locations across the US, outnumbering even McDonald's and Starbucks. It offered an affordable, build-your-own sandwich experience that millions came to rely on. The famous $5 footlong was a promise that even in tough times, you could still afford a warm meal. But that promise is broken. As of 2024, Subway has slipped below 20,000 US stores. In just the past year alone, over 400 stores shut down. According to Technomic, what's worse, many closures happened quietly, no headlines, just one more shuttered storefront in a strip mall already half empty. Subway's crisis runs deeper than numbers. Years of customer complaints about bland meat, rubbery bread, inconsistent portions have driven loyal diners into the arms of newer, better rivals like Jersey Mike's and Firehouse Subs. Those chains offer freshly sliced meats, better ingredients that Subway can't seem to reclaim. And then there's the damage done by scandal. Jared Fogle, once the face of the brand, was sentenced to over 15 years for having inappropriate behavior with minors. The crimes were so disturbing they poisoned the brand's name for years, even after distancing itself. Subway has faced more PR disasters. The infamous Not Real Tuna lawsuit of 2021, viral jokes mocking the quality of their meat, and growing franchisee rebellion. Dozens of operators have accused the company of forcing costly upgrades and impossible lease demands, while watching corporate profits stay protected. Compared to Taco Bell's savvy app deals and Wendy's revitalized $5 menu combos, Subway feels stuck in outdated menus, rising prices, now up to $14 for a sandwich, and stuck in an identity crisis. For many working-class Americans, especially in rural towns where choices are few, Subway used to be the only halfway healthy hot meal under $10. Its loss would force families into even longer drives. Or worse, skip meals altogether. Can you remember the last time you walked into a Subway that felt truly fresh, or has it already started to vanish from your routine without you realizing what comes next might shake you even more? Because if a chain as massive as Subway is on the brink, the next name on this list could be one you still depend on every week. Number 4. Red Lobster. In May of 2024, Red Lobster, once America's go-to family seafood chain, officially filed for bankruptcy. Just weeks later, nearly 100 of its restaurants shut their doors forever. For millions, this collapse is a shock. During the 1990s and early 2000s, Red Lobster stood as a symbol of affordable luxury. With more than 700 locations nationwide, it offered middle-class families a chance to enjoy fancy seafood without dressing up or going broke. For suburban America, this was as close to a seaside escape as many could afford. Now, the tide has turned. In just one fiscal quarter of 2023, Red Lobster lost more than $11 million. Behind the scenes, much of the pressure came from its parent company, Thai Union Group. Despite warnings from franchisees, they insisted on pushing the endless shrimp promotion, a deal that cost the company up to $5 per customer served. That decision, driven by foreign executives unfamiliar with the fragile U.S. casual dining market, sent the chain spiraling. Competitors like Bonefish Grill and Captain D's have adapted, leaning into smaller spaces, faster service, and consistently fresh offerings. Red Lobster, by contrast, remained chained to outdated dining rooms and price points that no longer make sense for cash-strapped diners. Many online now compare the experience to paying steakhouse prices for fast food quality fish. What's your take? Do you think Red Lobster still delivers value? Share it below. The consequences reach far beyond the kitchen. Tens of thousands of workers face sudden unemployment in hundreds of towns. Retirees or elderly couples treated as their once a month, now. That modest escape is gone, replaced by silence and an empty lot. What's truly lost is the memory of comfort that bridged affordability with a hint of luxury. And yet, this could only be the beginning. With over $1 billion in debt and investor confidence crumbling, Red Lobster may be fully erased before 2026, and how many more beloved meals are already drowning unnoticed? Let's turn to number 5. Number 5, Applebees. The neighborhood is going quiet. Once boasting more than 2,000 bustling locations, Applebees now finds itself with fewer than 1,600 restaurants still standing, and according to Dine Brand's own projections, another 25 to 35 will be gone by the end of this year alone. The question nobody wants to ask is, are we watching the slow death of American casual dining? Let's begin with the shocking news that not everyone knows about. In 2022, an internal email from an Applebee's franchise executive named Wayne Pankratz leaked online. In it, he claimed inflation was a good thing, allowing the chain to hire cheaper labor, during a time when families were struggling to afford groceries. The email sparked public outrage and drew heavy criticism across media platforms. It left a stain on the brand's reputation that hasn't fully faded. While competitors like Chili's revamped their image with crisp menu photos, upgraded packaging, and streamlined service, Applebee's didn't move. Customers still find the same reheated entrees and cluttered layouts. In an age of speed and transparency, the chain feels trapped in a different decade. One comment trending on TikTok put it bluntly: it's like paying restaurant prices for a microwave dinner. Back in the early 2000s, Applebee's was everywhere, anchoring suburban strip malls, lighting up rural highways, offering millions of people an affordable, reliable place to gather. Their 2 for $20 deal was once a nationwide ritual. 2 entrees, 1 appetizer, and a booth by the window. Today, that same deal can cost $25 or more, and the booth often sits empty. Fast casual spots like Panera and Chipotle offer better ingredients, clearer menus, and often similar prices. And while Applebee's tries to lure back customers with late-night karaoke or happy hour wings, the emotional connection feels broken. In small towns, Applebee's was often more than just a restaurant. It was where coworkers met after shifts, where grandparents took the grandkids, where birthdays were still celebrated even when budgets were tight. With closures accelerating, these communities are being left with nothing but drive-thrus and gas stations. Just wait until you hear which iconic name is next to teeter on the edge. The unraveling isn't over. Number 6, TGI Fridays. TGI Fridays is vanishing faster than anyone expected. Once a weekend favorite with over 900 locations globally, the chain now has fewer than 300 in the US. As of January 2024, 36 restaurants shut down in one sweep, laying off over 1,000 employees. For many, it was a warning sign that the party might finally be over. Years of declining sales, clumsy rebrands, and a failed international push left the chain adrift. During the pandemic, Fridays struggled to adapt while Olive Garden and Chili's rebounded with smarter loyalty deals and tech-driven delivery. Meanwhile, customer complaints grew smaller portions, higher prices, and staff shortages turned familiar meals into frustrating experiences. In late 2023, its parent firm sold off more than half of its US properties, a move interpreted by experts as desperation. Then came the resignation of CEO Ray Blanchette amid allegations of failed leadership and expensive tech gimmicks that alienated longtime diners. Now, working-class Americans over 45 feel priced out of what used to be their Friday night tradition, as locations continue to quietly disappear. The loss cuts deeper than food. It severs one more tie to comfort, routine, and the simple joy of a shared meal. Number 7, Chili's. Chili's is quietly slipping off the map. Once a staple with over 1,600 global locations, the chain now faces a wave of closures. In early 2024, Brinker International shut down 41 underperforming Chili's, mostly in small towns and fading suburbs. This follows a staggering $38 million loss in fiscal Q2 2023, caught between fast food and fine dining. Chili's no longer fits modern needs. an $18 to $25 check per person now feels like too much for families squeezed by inflation. Meanwhile, Chipotle and Panera offer faster, fresher meals at similar prices, no tip expected. Gimmicks like delivery robots and revamped happy hours haven't stopped the decline. Gen Z isn't emotionally tied to the brand, and digital ordering still lags. CEO Kevin Hochman's aggressive promotions haven't fixed long-standing issues with food quality and customer service. In many towns, Chili's was the last in-between spot, neither drive-through nor luxury, just familiar fajitas and a family booth. Its disappearance leaves a gap not just in dining, but in connection. If even Chili's once sizzling at the table goes cold, how much longer can the middle hold? Number 8. Boston Market. From over 1,100 stores in 1997 to just 27 remaining in early 2024, Boston Market's fall is among the most dramatic in U.S. restaurant history. Once beloved for its hot rotisserie chicken and home-style sides, the chain now faces lawsuits, wage violations, and disturbing health reports. In August 2023, New Jersey shut down 27 locations for unpaid wages and labor violations. Employees across multiple states described moldy kitchens, expired ingredients, and even dead rodents under kitchen shelves, compared to rivals like Cracker Barrel, which embraced digital ordering and seasonal updates. Boston Market remained frozen in the past. Customers now say it feels stuck in 1995, except with double the prices and none of the care. Its collapse comes from years of underinvestment, legal troubles, supply issues, and leadership chaos. But for working families and elderly Americans, the impact is painfully personal. Boston Market was once the last hot meal before payday, the quick dinner for single parents, or retirees too tired to cook. Its disappearance isn't just economic, it's emotional. It marks another quiet loss of warmth in a world that's getting colder by the day. Number 9. Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday has quietly shrunk from over 900 U.S. locations in the early 2000s to fewer than 200 as of mid-2024. Once a suburban favorite for steak, burgers, and its beloved salad bar, the brand filed for bankruptcy in 2020 and never fully recovered. Internal reports revealed cost-cutting scandals, reused salad dressings, frozen food swaps, and dirty kitchen conditions. Viral photos on TikTok and Reddit showed rusted equipment and lukewarm meals, reinforcing its reputation as outdated and neglected. While Outback Steakhouse evolved with modern menus and upgraded interiors, Ruby Tuesday froze in time. Customers still encountered decade-old dishes with none of the charm they remembered. Its fall wasn't caused by one crisis, it was a slow bleed mismanagement, rising costs, and a failure to adapt to changing tastes. In shrinking towns and dying malls, many locations remain half-empty echoes of what they once were. For older Americans, Ruby Tuesday held memories, anniversaries, Sunday dinners, family birthdays. Its disappearance isn't just about food, it's the fading of tradition. As each restaurant quietly closes, so does another chapter of suburban American dining. And once the lights go out, where will those memories live? Number 10. Outback Steakhouse. Once known for sizzling steaks and its iconic bloomin' onion, Outback Steakhouse is slowly fading from the American dinner table. With over 1,000 global locations in 2012, it was once the go-to place for date nights, birthdays, or weekend splurges. But since 2020, more than 100 U.S. stores have closed, mostly in rural and suburban towns. In early 2024, Bloomin' Brands reported a 5.7% drop in Q4 sales, with the sharpest decline among diners over 50. Outback's mid-tier pricing now feels steep, especially as portion sizes shrink and wait times grow longer even in half-empty restaurants. A 2022 lawsuit accused the chain of quietly increasing app prices while keeping in-store prices lower, sparking backlash over trust. Customers on Reddit and Yelp echo similar frustrations: inconsistent steaks, reduced freebies, and fewer familiar comforts. Meanwhile, Texas Roadhouse is winning loyalty with faster service, unlimited rolls, and better value. Compared to that, Outback feels outpaced and overpriced. For many older Americans, Outback was their first real steakhouse. Now, with locations vanishing, the ability to celebrate affordably is disappearing too, and when even a simple steak becomes out of reach, What's left for those who just wanted something special now and then? Number 11, Hard Rock Cafe. Once a symbol of rock nostalgia and tourist pride, Hard Rock Cafe now teeters on the edge of cultural irrelevance. From over 190 global locations in the early 2000s, the US now hosts fewer than 20 active cafes that generate meaningful foot traffic. In cities like Atlantic City and Minneapolis, closures happened without fanfare. Some surviving locations report revenue drops of up to 40% since the pandemic. Tourists come for Elvis, but leave questioning the prices and the authenticity. In 2022, The Guardian revealed that many iconic memorabilia items, guitars, costumes were replicas or misattributed a year later. Hard Rock Cafe Orlando faced lawsuits over unpaid overtime and secret staff surveillance, further tarnishing its image. Meanwhile, competitors like Margaritaville evolve into lifestyle resorts. Hard Rock clings to an aging formula, overpriced burgers, dusty guitars, and fading posters. Gen Z barely notices it exists. For Americans over 45, Hard Rock Cafe was once a sensory escape, flashing neon, greasy fries, and roaring music. Now, its fading lights feel like a goodbye to a louder, freer version of ourselves. And as the world moves faster, it's clear even our memories are running out of places to live. Number 12. ChuckECheese. Once hailed as every kid's dreamland, ChuckECheese is quietly vanishing. From over 600 US locations in 2010, only about 400 remain in early 2024. After filing for bankruptcy in 2020, hundreds of stores closed, especially in small towns where it was once the heart of childhood joy. Newer, high-tech competitors like Urban Air and My Gym now offer safer, trendier options. Meanwhile, ChuckECheese clings to its outdated animatronics and greasy pizza. Many parents say the experience feels stuck in 1993, just twice the price. A viral TikTok in 2019 accused the chain of reusing leftover pizza slices. Though denied, the damage stuck. Add in multiple reports of birthday party fights and weak security, and the brand's innocence has faded. ChuckECheese once symbolized affordable family celebration, a pizza, some tokens, a prize, and a room full of laughter. Now, many parents can't recreate that for their kids. Disney's too expensive, and home parties lack magic. And when even a place designed to make children smile begins to fade, we're left asking in today's world, what memories can still be passed down? Number 13. Buffalo Wild Wings. There was a time when Buffalo Wild Wings was more than a restaurant. It was the beating heart of every game night. In the early 2000s and into the mid-2010s, it was the go-to place for hot wings, cold beer, and a room full of fans shouting at giant screens. With over 1,200 locations across the US and Canada by 2016, it was the stadium of the working class. But as of early 2024, that roar has quieted. The chain has shut down more than 200 locations since 2019, mostly in lower income or older communities. Pandemic lockdowns, changing habits, and the decline of communal sports watching have left many BWW locations half empty and forgotten. Worse, in 2023, Buffalo Wild Wings was hit with a class action lawsuit in Illinois for marketing boneless wings that were nothing more than fried chicken nuggets. The betrayal sparked ridicule online and damaged customer trust. Former workers have also revealed unsanitary practices like reusing fryer oil for days, while competitors like Wingstop thrive with simple menus and delivery-friendly models. BWW clings to its outdated format. A two-person dinner of wings and beer now easily exceeds $45 without offering the energy or quality it once promised. Meanwhile, local bars and even food trucks offer a more authentic, affordable experience for middle-aged men across small towns. BWW was where friendships lived. Losing that place means more than losing wings. It means losing a rare social lifeline in an increasingly isolating world. Number 14. Checkers and Rallies. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Checkers and Rallies wasn't just another fast food name, it was a lifeline for working Americans. With dual drive-through lanes and no-frills counters, these two brands eventually merged under one roof, offered hot, satisfying meals for just a few dollars. At their peak, they operated more than 850 locations across the US, with Big Buford burgers and Cajun fries becoming iconic for budget-friendly indulgence. But by 2024, the picture has darkened. According to QSR magazine, fewer than 500 stores remain. Between 2020 and 2023 alone, over 120 locations closed, mostly in low-income neighborhoods, where the chain was often the only affordable food option. Restaurant Dive reports a nearly 20% drop in average store revenue, while ingredient and labor costs soared, crushing the fragile low-margin model. The real shock came in 2023, when an NBC Local 4 investigation in Michigan uncovered appalling sanitary conditions in at least 3 Checkers stores' unchanged fryer oil for over a week, barehanded employees, and even rodent infestations in storage areas. Lawsuits also allege unpaid overtime and dangerous work conditions for minimum wage staff. Now, as this chain retreats from struggling towns, the message is painfully clear: even the cheapest bite may no longer be affordable. Number 15. Sparro. In the golden age of American malls throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Sparro was more than a pizza stand. It was a pause button during long shopping sprees, a treat between browsing aisles, a reward for a family day out. With over 1,000 locations worldwide in 2004, most tucked inside bustling U.S. shopping centers, Sparro's oversized, cheese-stretching slices became a staple of the American middle-class experience. But today, that memory is fading fast. By 2024, only around 270 Sparro outlets remain in the U.S., according to QSR magazine. The company filed for bankruptcy twice in 2011 and again in 2014, crippled by its deep reliance on mall traffic. In an age of online shopping, more than 50% of mid-tier malls classified B and C have seen foot traffic plummet. Placer.ai. 2023. Internal reports show that average store revenue has dropped by more than 30% since 2019. One haunting controversy from a BuzzFeed News investigation in 2015 revealed that Sparro allegedly reused leftover ingredients unsafely. Though denied by the company, former employees in Ohio and Pennsylvania disclosed they were told to salvage everything possible, with customers on Reddit warning about cold dough and underheated slices made from food stored overnight. For millions who grew up in the glow of neon-lit shopping halls, a red and white Sparro tray wasn't just food, it was memory. It meant eating together after buying sneakers for your kid or grabbing a bite on a Sunday shift. Now, malls sit hollow, the signs are dim, and the last affordable bite has crumbled into history. In this quiet collapse, we must ask who gets to eat and who gets left behind. Because when even the cheapest comfort fades, the cost is more than money, it's belonging.